6 years ago, I was diagnosed with stage 3 lung cancer. And because it presented as I was probably stage 4, they ran the biomarker testing. I'd been going to a community oncologist because that's just where my normal healthcare system fell into. And from going to the normal oncologist, when I was after the diagnosis, went through standard of care. 3 rounds of chemo, had a lobectomy, another follow-up round of chemo, and they determined that I had no evidence of disease. It's like, okay. And I was just kind of ready to move on with my life. This was in January 2017, and it's been about 6 months going through treatment. Then I started getting involved in lung cancer support groups, because after you've been through this, you want to hear about somebody who has been on the other side and kind of process it. Started out first going to cancer support groups and hearing about all these different opportunities, different types of cancers had, and really wanted to connect with other people. So I ended up in a lung cancer support group in person, and started hearing about these biomarkers, and people were like, I'm EGFR this, I'm T790 that, and I'm ALK, and I'm like, I have no idea what that means. So they're like, well, just check with your doctor. So I checked with my doctor. My doctor says, well, you don't have any of these biomarkers. Okay, but you have no evidence of disease, so you're good. Well, they went on for about 1.5 years. I had no disease, and I had my first recurrence. First recurrence comes back, and I'm like, all right, we got this. I'm okay. But at least maybe I can find out what's driving my cancer. No such luck. A few months later, second recurrence. I went through radiation, went through an ablation. Still no information on it, but I've technically moved from stage 3 to stage 4 because the cancer moved outside of my lung. And when I was like, all right, I have no evidence of disease. Now's a good time for me to kind of stand back. I've been doing this for 3 years now. This is going to become part of my life, not just a chapter I can shut and move forward on. So I asked to go out for a second opinion at a large cancer center. And I go out for the second opinion, and the doctor says, well, on your first report from the doctor, the second report, and then we reran the reports, you have a biomarker. You have KRAS G12D. All I knew was, because that wasn't particularly good, but I didn't know what that meant. So I went home fully expecting to be able to connect with other people that had this as well. The EGFR people, the ALK people, the different groups. So I go online. This is December 2019. I'm 3-year survivor, and I'm online. I'm checking with people, and there's no KRAS organization. I can go through, find out what is a KRAS, what's this KRAS wild, what is mutated, what's the difference between big K, little k, what's the difference? So I go through, and I can't find anything. Well, I want to connect with other people that have the same thing as me. I found out this is the most common biomarker. I start finding out that this mutation is across different cancer types. That's in lung, colorectal, pancreatic, it's even prostate. Some breast cancers is exceptions, appendiceal, cholangiocarcinoma, and so on. So I'm like finding this, and I want to be able to connect with these people over this same thing. Now that I know what my body is fighting, I want to name this, and I want to fight it back in a collective way. So I started the KRAS Kickers. That was January 2020. And the whole concept is simple. I want to connect with people, understand what this is, what that means, so we can join together to kick cancer's KRAS. Subsequently, we have found out that we utilize KRAS, I should say, as an acronym for KRAS knowledge, research, advocacy for survivorship. And you'll notice if you add knowledge, which comes from the doctors, the research plus advocacy, it equals survivorship. And I'm here now, over 6 years later, had a couple more recurrences. I've had a total of 5 recurrences over these past 6 years. And I'm here to say that it can be done. We can connect all those things, and we can have survivorship. So I share my voice to tell people what I didn't know about clinical trials, what I didn't know about research, and how joining together as a community really makes a difference across all levels. And here we are.